You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? It is your boy, Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show. New listeners, if you're new, welcome to the podcast. Glad you're here. If you like nerd culture, if you're into anime, if you're into video games, comic books, shows, TV, movies, all of those things, you've come to the right place. This is what I talk about here. And let's get into it, guys. Today's episode is a review episode primarily, and that has to do with my review for Daemon X Machina, or Daemon X Machina, which I usually end up calling it. But yes, we're going to get into that review. I have put in just over 61 hours in this game, and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to tell you, how I feel about the game, should you buy the game? All of these things I want to get into. I'm excited about it because it's probably, man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I am saying it. It is my favorite Nintendo Switch game. And yes, I just played, I literally, before this game, the other game I was playing was Astral Chain. And I know it sounds kind of strange for you guys who have been listening to me for a while. Hear me, gush over Astral Chain like a kid in a candy store. But that was before I got my hands on this game. And I'm going to get into everything surrounding this game because it's not all been positive and all of that. But I'm going to knock out some other things first. One of the things I wanted to talk about, guys, is some Dragon Ball stuff. This podcast is called Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. But we're kind of in a state with Dragon Ball where, there's nothing really going on. Well, there has been some things going on in the manga world. But as far as the anime is concerned, we're kind of like in limbo right now and trying to find out when we're going to get the next showing of Dragon Ball Super, which I know I can't wait for. But we're going to get into all of that. But I do have some new Dragon Ball stuff to talk about, and that's going to surround, the last manga chapter, which is 52. Also some Dragon Ball Kakarot stuff, man. I just, came up on, it just fell into my lap the other day. And it's nothing major, but it is something important, I think, when it's concerning this game, because a lot of people are kind of salty because they think that the game that is about to come out is a game that they've already seen. And I can attest that it's not. And like I said, as time goes on, as more and more things come apparent, I'm just discovering more things in this game. It's an open world RPG game. I'm going to get into that in a minute. Also, the Nintendo Switch Lite is out now. It's been released, guys. Also, Link's Awakening is out now. It's been released, guys. Also want to talk about Terminator Resistance. It's a new game coming out very, very soon for Xbox and Sony PlayStation 4. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, what the trailer looked like, all of those things. Man. And that is, that's what we have for today. Mainly, I'm going to be, like I said before, addressing a game that everybody apparently loves to fucking hate. And that's Daemon X Machina. But let's get into some Dragon Ball stuff, man, shall we? Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Yes, there's been some new scans of some gameplay. And apparently there's at least one mini game, and it's a baseball mini game. Yes. If you go to my Instagram, you can find it. It's probably out there. If you just Google it, you can find it somewhere. But yeah, there's a scan out now, which, there's a baseball mini game. You know what I mean? So it looks pretty cool from what I see. I don't know how far, how deep that game is actually going to get. But I'd love to find that out. Games like that come out and have these mini games and stuff like that associated with it. I kind of dig that, especially if they give the player an opportunity to play it as often as they like, not just like going through the motions. Okay. Maybe after you finish the game completely or whatever, you can actually play that mini game within the game as a separate game, kind of. So you can just like, I really like this game. I want to kind of play that, and go and get an opportunity to make that a reality. I just thought that was cool. And you know what? Every time I think I can't love this game or I can't anticipate this game any longer, this pops up. Little stuff like this, little gems like this, especially if you're a Dragon Ball fan like I am, you appreciate these things. And most people are hung up on, the fact that if you play one Dragon Ball game, you've played them all. If you listen to the devs talk about this game, they always say that it's going to be packed full of content. Like, when they say something like that, I mean, they've got so many surprises, for us. And the fact that we're getting a lot of these right now, we're getting screenshots and all this. Come on, who else is leaking this shit? You know what I mean? They're leaking this shit. Let's keep it real with each other. They're probably in a boardroom, and got, everything written down. Look, we're going to drop this on this date. We're going to drop that on that date, and so on and so forth, guys. There's going to be so much content in this game. And I think this game should be picked up by every Dragon Ball fan. And most of us will probably do that just on the fact that we're fans and we're kind of biased towards it. But don't take this game lightly, please. If you're listening to this and if you're thinking about buying this game, if you're on the fence about buying this game, don't hesitate. Pick this game up. I'm telling you, I just have a great feeling about this game. And like I said before, I haven't played a Dragon Ball RPG in so long, and I've been waiting for that. And this is going to be, the game for me. This is going to be the one that I've been waiting for, because you get to go around and do so many different things. And like I said, this baseball mini game is just proof of one of those things. Fishing. There's going to be, driving, from when, Piccolo and Goku try to get their license back, in Dragon Ball Z. I mean, there's so many things, they're going to put in this game, and a lot of the things that we haven't even seen before, that we have never seen before in a Dragon Ball game, even coming from the anime, like things that happened, or that were happening that we never got a chance to actually see. And then if you also check out my Instagram, you're going to see the Vegeta gameplay that's out here. Vegeta's walking around with his pink shirt on, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be good, man. I just got a feeling that it's going to be good. I think they're toying with us on a lot of these things. I think they know some shit that's going to happen, but I think they're just like, they're just holding back. They just want us to be surprised. And I think that is going to happen. I think everybody who picks this game up is going to be very pleased with it. I'm getting it. I don't know about you guys, but I am going to get this game. But I just thought I'd share that little tidbit, that little bit of information with you guys concerning this Dragon Ball game that's coming out in 2020, man. First quarter. So be ready for that, please. I want to also talk about, since we're in the Dragon Ball mood, since we're talking about the Dragon Ball stuff, I want to get into the Dragon Ball manga arc number 52. Yes, there's been a lot of shit going on in this arc, man, and it's letting us know, what's to come, and that's a good thing. This arc is so fucking good. I mean, if you guys don't know anything about, the Moro arc, you guys should definitely check it out. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, you should definitely look into it. And I mean, I think you'll find that Moro is a dope ass character, and there's also a couple other characters that are actually pretty fucking wet, amazing and highly skilled, in this chapter. And in this arc period. But apparently what's happening now, guys, is we are going to get the rest of the Z Fighters. They are going to show back up in this arc, which is a good thing, man. We got Piccolo already surfacing, doing his thing or whatever. They're integrating him into it. But then in this chapter, you get to see them talking about or referring to the rest of the Z Fighters, and they're going to be putting them in this arc. And rightfully so. They wrote the story in a way that, they're going to have a chance to help save the world, if you will. And I'm digging that. So they're going to supposedly have some recruiters go out and warn everybody and get everybody together, and including Gohan as well. Yes. And I can't wait to see how this turns out. The only problem that I would have if I was a Gohan fan, and there's a lot of Gohan fans, man, that talked about this and that I've talked to, just over the last year. And I don't know what's going on with Gohan. What are they doing with Gohan, man? Like, they really just turned him into like a Piccolo type character. He could be right up in there with the rest of the Z team, with Krillin, Tien Shinhan, and all these other guys. I don't know what their plans are, what they're planning to do with Gohan, but I don't think the writers are taking Gohan seriously, at least right now. Now, I could be surprised in the future. They could, hit us with, a couple whammies, which they've done in the past. I mean, which they've done with Android 17. They did it with, who would have fucking known that Android 17 would have been the one to be one of the saviors of, the Tournament of Power arc. Everybody had their eyes on Gohan. Like, he was going to be that one. He was going to take a step up again from the heyday of, the Cell Saga. But no, it did not happen. And all of a sudden, out of the fucking blue, out of left field, it was fucking Android 17. And a lot of fucking people were really mad about that. And still are, probably, that, Gohan is being thrown to the side like this with so much potential for somebody who was, slated to be that guy. All of a sudden, he's just not around anymore. So I don't know, man. Like I said, who knows where this is going to go? Maybe they have something planned for Gohan in the future down the line. Who fucking knows? But you can't sit on a character like that forever and not do shit with him. This motherfucker is half Saiyan and has so much potential. You just can't put him, on the sideline like that. And I'm not even a Gohan fan. Let's keep it real. I'm not even a Gohan fan. It's just that I'm not blind. I see what's going on. And even Stevie Wonder would have said something about this. That's it. That's my 2 cents of the matter. And, I'll lay it to bed. It's a really good arc, guys. You guys should check it out if you haven't. I hope when Dragon Ball Super comes back that they definitely focus on this arc and draw it out, animate it out. Who knows? They could be working on this shit right now. They could also have the option to skip over this arc and start from after all the events of this happens. But I don't think that's going to happen, man. And I say that because there's too many things that are really, really important going on right now in this fucking arc that they can't just brush over the shit. You know what I mean? They can make it another movie, maybe, but it's just like I said, it's so much shit. It's not going to be enough. You're not going to be able to cram all this shit into a fucking, hour and a half, 2 hours. You're just not. And I really truly believe that when we see Dragon Ball Super again, it's going to start with this arc. You know what I mean? The Galactic Prisoner Patrol arc, however you want to name it. I always get those words mixed up, but yeah, the Galactic Prisoner Patrol arc. I think that's how you do it. But yes, this arc is the one that I think they're going to address. They have to, man, because Vegeta is now landed finally on Yard Rat, and he's trying to figure out how, Goku basically learned how to do the instant transmission. He's trying to figure out something similar to that. So there's a lot of things going on here, all over the place. Moro is sending, some of his prisoners that he freed. He's sending them I think he's going to send them to Earth. And then that's when they are trying to warn all the other Earthlings and everybody there and let them know that, these guys are coming. So it's a lot of shit going on right now. And I think that, they can't avoid talking about this or animating none of this stuff, man. And it's a good arc. It's a very good arc. So yeah, if you are interested, if you're just a little bit curious, check out this arc. It's all over the internet, YouTube all day, and you can get caught up really, really easy. The next thing I want to talk about is another little tidbit I wanted to add real quick, guys. September 24th is a pretty big day for Sony fans if you're into, what's coming up next and what could be coming down the pipeline. And that's going to be Sony's State of Play. And it takes place, like I said, September 24th. And, a lot of people are really looking forward to The Last of Us and information on that. And what other games that are coming out? Ghost of Tsushima, I think that's how you pronounce it. And what else is coming down the pipeline? New reveals maybe, or, PlayStation 5 reveal. But just letting you guys know right now, I've been doing some digging, and apparently Sony's not, interested in showing or giving us any news about the PlayStation 5 right now, at least not in this state of play. And who knows when the next state of play will be, and maybe then. But I think they're focused on the titles that are coming out for the PlayStation 4, rightfully so, because we got some big ones coming up. And, they just want to focus on that, and that's cool. But definitely keep your eyes and ears open for State of Play. September 24th is right around the fucking corner. I will definitely be talking about those things next week's podcast. So yeah, definitely get ready for that, guys. I'm excited for The Last of Us 2. Maybe we get some new information, because pretty much, man, there's been no real info, out here in these streets, and they've been really, really quiet, man. Maybe they got something really, really big planned up their sleeve. Who fucking knows? But we'll find out soon. Another thing I wanted to bring to your attention, guys, for all the Terminator fans, there's going to be a Terminator game coming out. Yes, a Terminator game is coming out, and it's coming out really, really soon. The trailer, I just saw the trailer not too long ago. The game is called Terminator Resistance, and it's coming out November 15th, 2019. Now, it's coming out for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. But here's an issue that I'm having with this game. After looking at the trailer, I can tell, to me, it looks like a AA game. It doesn't even look like a AAA game. I hope they're not putting it off as a AAA game. And it's just the graphics, just looking at the graphics. I think there is a money grab. To me, it looks like kind of like a money grab, man. That's just my first instinct on it. The trailer wasn't that long, but looking at what I've seen and comparing it to other things that are out there that are coming out, it just looks like a fucking money grab to me. And I kind of feel, if that's the case, I kind of feel a little stubbed. And I say that because, a game like a license like Terminator, you would think they'd put more of those eggs in that basket. Give it a little bit more respect, if you will. I could be wrong. It could surprise me. But what I've seen right now, guys, I'm not feeling it. I mean, take a look for yourselves. Go check out, Google Terminator Resistance, the trailer, and you can draw your own conclusion from that. But from what I've seen, guys, it looks like a AA game to me. And it's not anything that I'd play, and I hope it's not a $60 price tag on that, honestly. But yeah, I think that, I think they could have done better. Just from what I've seen just now. Who knows? It could pick up. Who knows what's going on? And then you want to put it out on the 15th. That's like a week after Death Stranding and the same day that, Star Wars comes out. That's crazy, right? Why would you try to compete with those two games? I don't know. I guess that's why I say it's not a AAA game. I don't think, because they're not going to sell anything going up against those guys. It's not going to happen, man. We'll see, though. I mean, only time will tell. I'll definitely be covering that and let you guys know, because I am a Terminator fan. I do like, Terminator and everything, that whole universe. So, I got my eye open. I'm looking out for this one. Yeah. Can we get into the elephant in the room now? I think that's what, I want to talk about. The elephant in the fucking room. And that is the game that has held my attention for the last 62 hours. Guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. I haven't had a chance to do anything this past week, man. I haven't even had a chance to watch. I haven't watched any anime. Can you believe that shit? Can you really believe that? The only anime that I've watched are 2 to 3 episodes of Naruto with my girlfriend, because, we finally made a pact. This is a side tangent I'm going off on. Just bear with me here. But we made a pact to basically get her into my world, bring her to my world. Okay. I want her to experience some of the things that I've experienced, as far as like the things that I like to watch, the things that I like to consume. She's not a gamer. She's never going to really be a gamer unless you count, cell phone games, like Spades or fucking Candy Crush. If you count those, that's going to be it for her. You know what I mean? But so, at least if she's not going to play games, at least she can fucking, watch some of this anime stuff. She's a big fan of the Marvel stuff. So if she's liking that type of thing, then, what better thing to bring her to than Naruto? And I've seen Naruto. I love Naruto. I just think this is one of the ones she needs to see. And actually, she's enjoying it. She's actually enjoying it. We saw the first 2 episodes, and then my son can come in and watch with us, and go out or whatever, do what he wants to do. And then I already told her, like, if you want to watch it without me, if you're really interested and you want to find out what's going to happen next, hey, don't wait on me, because our schedules are so off and different from each other. Like I said, only the weekends is when we have time to watch shit together for the most part. So I told her, go ahead and do your thing, watch whatever you want to watch when you want to watch it. I've already seen it, and I can just come in whenever we get together, and just jump in, and I'll be right at home. I know all the characters. I know all the shit. So she was like, cool. Well, guess what she did today? I came home later tonight, and she was in there watching Naruto with my son. So now we watched 2 together, the very first 2. And then she and my son, they watched 3 episodes. So now she's 5 episodes in, and she was interested. I mean, we were watching it. She was laughing at certain parts and this and this. I think she's starting to get attached, slightly starting to get attached, because I think for me, it was around, 5 or 6 episodes when I was like, okay, yeah, I need to get my popcorn ready, because I'm in for the long haul. And that's what had happened. That's when I got bit. So she's got Naruto. We got our thing, but I don't even know how the fuck I got on this, actually. Anyway, I haven't had time to watch anime, guys. I didn't even get to watch Demon Slayer, and I always watch Demon Slayer every fucking Saturday, and I did not get a chance to watch it because this fucking game, Daemon X Machina. Now, this is a game that a lot of people love to fucking hate, okay? And it's a very niche game. And I say that because, I say grab 10 people. Out of those 10 people, maybe 3 out of those 10 would enjoy themselves playing this game. At least that's what I've gathered from the reviews and what people are saying. If you're a casual gamer, you're probably not going to like this game that much. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not going to do it for you. And I understand that there's games out there that just, for whatever reason, they either resonate with you or they don't. And, there's no rhyme or reason why that happens. What intrigues you, what doesn't intrigue you. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. And that's cool. And that's kind of like what this game is. It's not a casual game. Like, okay, perfect example. The Nintendo Switch Lite came out, and, guess what else came out with it? Link's Awakening, Zelda, Link's Awakening. And a lot of people ate that game up. A lot of people, of course, are going to, buy that Nintendo Switch Lite, which is, looks to be a dope system. It really does. For $200, you get, an awesome little system. And come on, I think we all know sooner or later, I just can't wait to see what some of these third party developers are going to come up with, because, they're in the lab working on it, figuring out things. I'm wondering if they're going to come out with something to allow you to even play that Nintendo Switch on the TV. They could. Who knows? Only time will tell. But Nintendo has always been known for coming out with all kinds of different accessories. They're like the king of accessories. You know what I mean? So there's going to be some shit coming. Just wait. Give it a couple months. Shit's going to start falling from the sky. I guarantee you. But those came out today. Well, on the 20th, both those came out. And I will eventually play Link's Awakening, but it wasn't not even close to being a game on my radar like that. I mean, yes, it's a Zelda game and all of that, but it wasn't one I was really checking for, like, oh, I can't wait for this drops. I'm going to, you know what I mean? It's just, it wasn't. My 2 games were really Astral Chain and Daemon X Machina, or Daemon X Machina, however you want to pronounce it. But I was kind of on the fence a little bit about Daemon X Machina because, I didn't know a lot about it, but something just told me, to trust my gut, trust my instincts. And I went ahead and did that and bought the game. And I talked a little bit about it last week. You guys who've listened to me, I was enjoying myself with the game, but then I really got a chance to really, really get into it. And like I said, I'm already, 62 hours into the game and I haven't even beaten it yet. I'm close. I'm like on the very last part. I've played online already. I mean, I'm enjoying myself. There's secrets in this game. There's all kind of things. I'm going to get to it, but I love this fucking game. Let me just say that. I love mechs. I love mech games. And, that was what intrigued me at first. I'm a Gundam fan. I never got a chance to play the Armored Core series, but there's a lot of Armored Core fans out here in these streets, and they love it. So those people, most of those people jumped on this game. Like I said, if you like this game, I don't even think there's like a really in between with this game. I think if you like it, you love it. And if you don't, you hate it, or you just, you know what I mean? I think it's one of those type of games. It's definitely going to be a cult classic for sure in the States. And I say in the States because in Japan, they love mech games. There's a shitload of mech games in Japan that came out for all kinds of systems that the US never got a chance to fucking play. And that used to always piss me off, man, because there were so many of them that I wanted to play and get into those games. And, that would be a genre that I would just love to fucking just be in. And it'd be one of my favorite type of games to play. That culture that in Japan, I'm always been intrigued by it. Always, have been fascinated by it and love that culture. And, a lot of things that go into that culture, and mechs is being one of those things. You know what I mean? Japan is the only place you can go to and you can see a fucking giant Gundam just standing in the middle of the fucking street. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But this game here is what intrigued me. That is what intrigued me about wanting to play this game. Just being able to customize to your heart's content, man. I love customization. That is my thing. If you guys listen to me, you know that I always talk about customization in video games, and that's just what I love to fucking do. And this gives you that, all the way. You get to customize your mechs. You get to loot, you know what I mean? Different things. It's so good, man. It's just so fucking good. And believe it or not, in Japan, this game is #1 on the fucking eShop in Japan. It is. It's #1 on the fucking eShop. And like I said, that shows you that there you go right there. Now here in the States, the average score, the last time I checked Metacritic, it was like, 72, 71. So that's good. I mean, that's 7 out of 10 and that's a good game. It's a good solid game in most people's eyes. But for the people who like me, who actually love, mechs and who actually, get in all the way into the game, we love the game. And, for me, the game is almost perfect. And I say almost because it probably will be damn near perfect for me, when the DLC comes out. And I'll get into that as well. But the game is awesome, guys. If you love customization, if you love mechs, Gundam, Armored Core, things like that, piloting like giant, machines, you're going to love this fucking game. You just are. I mean, the story is, I'm not going to get into the story because I'm not going to spoil it, but it's very anime, very anime style. The story is, and then the art style is too. I think, to be honest with you, that's one of the most enjoyable things to me in this game. The art style. I love the fucking art style. It's its own type of art style. You just have to see it to believe it. It's very colorful and it pops and it's very crisp. You get all of that with this game, and I don't know. I can't explain it. You just have to check it out for yourself. If you have a Nintendo Switch and you're curious about this game, all you have to do is go to the fucking eShop and you can download the demo. The demo is going to give you a nice piece of what this game is offering. And you can make a decision for yourself. That's really what got me. And I've had the demo sitting on my Nintendo for a long time before I decided to get around to it. I just didn't have time to get around to it. And then they put out another fucking demo because they got feedback from the first demo that tells you that these guys are really passionate about this project and they really want to see it do well. And they listened to the fans. And what they did was listened. Then they went back and they put out the prologue demo, which is out now. If you haven't played it, if you want to find out about the game, and they changed a lot of shit up. And I didn't even get a chance to play the first demo, which is cool. The prologue is the one that I played, and that's when I fell in love with this game. And I said, oh yeah, I'm getting this game. I'm buying this game. And I did that. Went to Walmart, paid $50. Yes, I said $50 because Walmart has all Nintendo Switch games for $50 instead of GameStop, who sells them for $60. All right. So just, if you didn't know, now you know. So yeah, there you have it. But yeah, man, beautiful game, excellent game. Story starts off kind of strange, and there's a lot of characters that you end up, coming across. But then as the story and the game progresses, you start to see things and things start to unfold, and you start to get into the story. At least I do. And I have, but like I said, it's very anime style. It's got an anime style to it. And like I said, I love anime. So it's right up my alley, right in my fucking wheelhouse. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this game. Most of it, if you're into those things, all the things I just mentioned, you're going to love it, man. Even if you're new to the series or whatever, I think you'll still find something to like about this game. And, I mean, there's so many secrets in itself already. There's this place called the Ice Cream Parlor where you basically, you go and you buy ice cream, and the ice cream gives you stats, before each battle, before each mission. And if you get so many of them, a certain amount of them, then you unlock what is basically a secret factory, which is like a black market shop where you can get special weapons, and, all those type of things there. And once you unlock that, then, you can go in there, and they got some very, very cool weapons, man. I mean, some dope ass weapons. There's also melee weapons, man. It's just crazy. So kind of like Gundam, you got melee weapons, you got guns. And then that's where the beauty comes into this game, because you can basically, everything you pick or everything you use matters, because you start to come up with different builds. And to be honest with you guys, out of the 60 plus hours I put in this game, easily 15 to 20 of those hours have probably been just customization, trying different things out, trying different, builds out, and different suits out, because you can mix match everything. So, you got your arms, which is, and you got your legs. Your legs are one piece. So that's the only part that's one piece. So whatever you pick, if you want, certain legs, if they got certain stats that you like, okay, the cosmetics of them, whatever, it's both. It's not just one and the other. But everything else, you can mix and match pretty much. Arms, like one arm is another arm. So, one arm is not another arm. So you can pick one arm and pick a completely different arm. And then you have your body part, your main part of the suit. And then you have your helmet or your head. And they do all different things. Basically, like the helmet is basically the stats. How can I explain this? Each helmet gives you a different sight. So your crosshairs are going to be different, from one helmet to the next. So you might have one helmet that's really, really good at, focusing on gunplay, and that is going to be bigger than somebody that, who doesn't focus on that, and it might be a little smaller. And it just so many things that go in that factor into this. Then you also have slots. You can get, equipment with slots in them, up to 3 slots where you can put augments in. So basically you can get 2 of the same helmet, and the stats are going to be different. And then one of them might even have a slot. One might have 3 slots. And then of course you want the one with the most slots, because then you can put more augments in there and you can tailor it that much more to your liking. And then of course you can change your colors. You can customize the colors and all of those things. Then you get emblems and things of that nature, in English and Japan, and different signs and signals that you can just paint and use on your arsenal. Arsenal is what the word that they use for your mechs. You can even name your arsenal, give it a name, and it'll display when you go online or whatever. So, there's so many dope things you can do. And then in your hangar, which is the place where you hang out at, the pilot hangs out at, your mech is just sitting there, and then you can just look at them, and you can just, I just think that's little things like that is what I love about these type of games. You can even change your poses of your mech. So you can, I think it's like, a dozen different poses that you can switch up and change. So when you go to look at your mech, he'll be sitting in that pose or whatever, he or she. I just think it's dope. You can pick a male or a female, which are called outers. And these are actually the pilots that control the mech. And you can customize them as well. Now, you can choose to make them stronger. And each time you add different things to them, it makes them stronger. It has the potential to make the outer, the actual pilot, stronger. Or it has also the potential to make the arsenal stronger. Because a lot of these stats that you put on your outer, they actually affect, your arsenal. So I think that's cool as well. And it also changes and augments your body and changes with your body. Now, these things you have no control over. So if you were to say, okay, I want to fucking, I want to be able to lock on to this target, outside of my arsenal. Well, if you do that, this is going to do something to your eyes. It's going to cosmetically change your eyes. Okay. Because you're actually augmenting your body. And it goes deeper than that. You know what I mean? It goes deeper than that, but that's the gist of it. So these are just things that, you can do in the game. You can actually exit out, jump out of your arsenal in battle. In mid battle, you can just say, fuck it. Let me jump out real quick. And you can jump out, set traps and throw grenades. You can even fire this weapon that you have. And then you can run back, jump back into your shit. But you're very, very squishy. You're very, very fucking weak outside of your mech. You can only take a couple hits and then you're done. Now, if you upgrade yourself, you can take a few more hits, but for the most part, you don't want to be hanging out too long outside of your mech. You really want to be inside your mech 9 times, most of the time. I just think that adding that little extra, to the game, as far as, the pilot, giving the focus on the pilot somewhat, instead of just making them just always inside of the, mechs or the arsenal, I think that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? So, and who knows what they're going to do, in the future with the updates. There is DLC slated. I mean, they basically stated that we're going to get a PvP mode, because right now the online mode is basically just co-op. So, you get with like 4 people and you go out and you fucking fight bosses and you fucking do certain missions and you get loot for that. And you get some awesome loot for that too. A lot of awesome shit that you can't get anywhere else. You have to go online to get some of these fucking weapons. Now, I just recently got a fucking awesome sword, and I forgot the fucking name of it. It's some crazy name, but I named it the glow stick. I call it the fucking glow stick because it's a fucking blade, and on each side of the fucking blade, there's lasers. So you got one laser, then you got the blade in the middle, and then you got another laser on the outside. So basically the blade is actually the laser part of it. It does regular damage, and then it also does laser damage on top of that. And like I said, and that's just one of fucking many weapons, man, that are crazy. That's a melee weapon. You know what I mean? Then there's another weapon, the club. I love club weapons. I don't know why. I just love club weapons in games. Like, you know what I mean? I just love the clubs. But the club in the game is awesome as well. And that's actually the strongest as far as just raw damage is concerned in the game. It just looks awesome, and that's my go-to weapon other than the fucking blade that I'm looking at. So I'm swapping between those two. And then while we're talking about swapping between, you have different builds. You have 10 different slots that they basically allot you, and you can work on different builds. So you can, say you got a heavy build and you're like, well, shit, man, I want a mobile build too, somebody that can move around very fast, and you can work on that build. So you can pick and choose and create your different builds and swap out, which one you think, suits different situations if you want to. So it's like I said, you want to unlock everything. That's the goal and incentive, to unlock everything, because then once you unlock everything, then you can kind of make, a decent amount of different builds, because everything in this game, takes into account all of that. You have your on ground speed, then you have your speed in the air, you know, how fast you fly, how fast you can maneuver around, you know, how tough you know, how much defense you have, you know, if you're going to get squashed or if you're going to be able to take some punishment and become kind of tanky. And that all, you know, revolves around how you want your build to be. Me personally, my build, you know, I'm like a up in your face type of guy. That's the build I'm going for right now. I started the game as somebody like kind of staying in the back, but I like, you know, I don't like to just get hit a couple times and then fucking blow up. I'm sorry. I don't. I like to take some damage. And I found a dope little build that I like. I have a flamethrower for one hand, and then on my other arm, I actually got it fucking augmented. So I had my arm removed and I put an arm on that was basically that's a machine gun. So it doesn't have a hand. Instead, it just has a nozzle on there, and it's a machine gun. And they have different ones you can acquire. You can acquire a shotgun arm. You can acquire you know, a machine gun arm, which I have, and you can also do, I think, a rifle. You know what I mean? So there's just so many different ones, man. Rifles, of course, you get you know, better range, but the other one, the machine gun, you get closer range, but you get faster DPS, which is, you know, damage per second. So I like to be in your face. So I got a flamethrower and then I got, you know, a machine gun. So when I'm in your face, I'm basically I'm a human melting machine. I'm in your face and I'm going to fucking melt you. Okay. If you get in my presence, if you become, you know, too close to me, I'm going to make you pay for it in that way. So I'm designing that build around that. And then I have a fucking melee weapon, which, you know, when you get too close, I can hit you. And it also works out for it, you know, just in case you run out of ammo, because there's been some times where a couple times, not many, because you usually, you know, there's ways to get your ammo back. You kill little, you know, insignificant, you know, enemies and you can get ammo back for that. But sometimes, every once in a while, you get caught in a situation like I did. I was fighting a fucking boss battle and man, I had used all of my fucking ammo and I had he only had a couple like of hits left. And what fucked it up was I didn't have any melee weapons, because you don't have to have a melee weapon. You can have all melee weapons or you can have all guns, like in a mixture of all different things. Like I said, the game is just so open. You have 4, you know, slots basically. So you can put whatever you want in those slots. You can put 2 swords, you can put 4 swords, melee weapons. I've seen a guy who had all melee weapons, man. I'm not bullshitting. There's enemies out there like that too. So, I mean, there's all kind of different combinations you can do. And the only thing is, if you choose to do, you know, an augment build like one I have, which one of my arms is actually a fucking machine gun, then that takes a place of one of your slots. So now you only have 3. So you have to be, everything that you make, every decision you make, it has a repercussion. You know what I mean? If there's a big plus in one part of your stat, there's going to be a minus somewhere else. So you're going to sacrifice something. So the whole beauty of this game is finding that perfect balance to how you like to play. And then the more time goes by and you unlock more things, it becomes a little bit easier, a little bit better. And you can kind of mold out that perfect kind of build that you're trying to get. And that's what I love about the game. I mean, like I said, I spend a lot of my time just going over numbers and, you know, testing out, you know, different things. But I was in that boss fight and I ran out of fucking ammo. I didn't have any ammo and I didn't have a blade to finish him off with or a melee weapon. So I'm sitting here not with no ammo, just running around. I had to basically reset the fucking game because my outer, which is my pilot, I jumped out and he couldn't do anything against another mech because I was fighting another fucking mech and it didn't work. So I had to fucking start that mission all over again and change my build up to make sure that I always had a weapon. I always had a way to finish somebody off. You know what I mean? So I had to sacrifice another weapon for that. But, you know, like I said, it's a beautiful thing. As I said before, you have 4 slots and then you also have a shoulder weapon, which is, you know, usually where they use rocket launchers or missiles or whatever. So there's rocket launchers, there's missiles, there's everything in between as well, man. There's rail guns, there's all kind of shit and everything in between, man. And they all have different effects and do different things. I mean, I had an acid gun that I was using for a long time where you shoot somebody and when you shoot them, you know, if you hit him, then basically it gives off an effect where basically he's being corroded. Or same thing with the missile launcher that I'm using right now is it's a heat sinker, so it travels. You can't run from it. It'll literally chase you until it connects. And once it connects, it has that burn damage. So it'll sit there and burn you for, you know, I want to say maybe like 5, 6, 7 seconds after it hits you. So you can really find different ways to pile it on. At one point, I was using the fucking acid and the missiles together, and I was burning and corroding at the same time. And then I'd go in for, you know, the kill. It's just so many great things, man, about this game. I'm telling you right now. I had a lot of fun online, and that's probably the only weak part, you know, in my opinion, of this game, the online mode right now, only because it's bare bones and it's just co-op. And really, to be honest with you, it doesn't have its own dedicated server, so you can't talk to other players. I mean, if you could actually talk to other players, man, that shit would be so good, man. That's the weakness of Nintendo in itself, not being able to do that, because I could see the community really, really enjoying that part of the game. But, you know, it is what it fucking is. Even with that little bad part, I guess you can call it bad or negative of the game, it is nowhere close to a deal breaker at all. It's just something that, you know, you can't control right now. But like I said, when PvP comes out, and then I guess we're going to have some other modes either. It's just not just going to be PvP, or it may be PvP, but then when you go to PvP, there's different modes up under PvP. So there's PvP like one-on-one. You might be like a battle royale type of thing going on. There, you know, sky's the limit with these guys. You know that they got something planned. You know they got something dope planned. So I'm going to continue to support this game, guys. I'm going to be doing content on this game. Definitely going to try. It's going to be harder because it's not as easy to capture game data if you don't have a capture card, because right now I don't. I do want to make that a reality, and I do want to cover this game because this is a mech game. I've always been waiting and wanting a mech game, finally one that we could get in the States as well. And that's why I have faith also in this game, because they technically made this game, you know, for, you know, Japanese players. Okay, because they know it's gonna sell. If it's not gonna sell here, they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's selling like hotcakes in Japan. That was their primary, you know, market. That was their primary target, and we get the benefit from that. Number one, because it's region free anyway, and most games now come native with English, you know, text if you want to switch it up. Number two, you know, they already got their market. They're going to get their money. So they're going to continue to support the game, and we're just going to benefit from that. Like I said, everybody that I fuck with or I've spoken to about this game who likes the game actually love the game. You know what I mean? And you can't stop playing it. You know, it's just really fun to play, to fly around. You know, you're in just total chaos, man, all around you. You know what I mean? And I love it. I fucking love it. Anyway, guys, I mean, that's the gist of the game. That is definitely the gist of the game. There's more to it than that. But I just gave you guys the basics of what this entails, what this game, you know, brings to the table. And if you have a Nintendo Switch, I'm telling you right now, you need to just give it a chance. You're not going to lose anything. You know, it's a free demo. You can download it. You can check it out. I mean, this game, I thought Astral Chain was going to be that one. I mean, and don't get me wrong. Astral Chain is phenomenal. It is. It is one of my favorite games on the Nintendo Switch. Don't get it twisted, but it just got beat by Daemon X Machina by a nudge. Okay. We were in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? It was tied up, you know, 10-10, and, you know, Daemon X Machina got that field goal and won the game at the last second. And that's how I feel about that game. They're different games, but like I said, you know, both of them are awesome. They got that anime feel to them. That art style is definitely dope on both games. It's just something about this mech game. It's just something about it, that customization in the game that just won me over. I just love mechs. And if you like mechs, if you just remotely like them, if you're a Gundam fan, then you might want to try this game out. You want to give it a shot. You definitely do. It's a lot of content. Like I said, I've been playing for over 60 hours, and I'm just now getting towards the end. of the game. When you beat the game, when you complete the whole game, you can replay any mission in the story. They already have free missions, which are dozens of those available now as you progress through the game. And you can go back as many times as you want from the majority of those and replay them again. And, that's how you farm. There's a lot of different stages that you might say, okay, I want this or I want those. I've seen these guys, walking around with them here. And say you have a piece of armor that you really adore, right? But it doesn't have any slots. And you're like, damn, it would really be cool if I had 3 slots for this piece. So you go and you fucking farm and you keep doing it and keep doing it till they drop one. And then boom, you got one with 3 slots, and then you just swap it out. And then you're that much more better for the grinding that you've done. And it's just fun too. I mean, it's just fun to go back and replay a lot of these, man. You know what I mean? And online is dope too, because, if you don't play with, say you're trying to get a lobby going and you're trying to get some people to help you play. Well, you can, if there's nobody to help you play or play with you, then they give you AI. So you're just not out there butt naked, in those streets, being handled accordingly by the enemy. Like I said, guys, and this is just the meat and potatoes of the game. This is just, what came, with the game. There's going to be a lot more coming for this game. Like I said, when PvP drops, it's going to be so crazy. That's why me personally, I'm trying to unlock everything. I'm going to unlock the shit that I really, really want first and I'm really curious about. And then, I'm just going to go balls deep and I'm going to unlock everything. That way I can work on, 2 or 3 different builds and I can kind of see, what's going on. But my current build right now, I'm pretty motherfucking proud of it. And, yeah, man, I think I can, I'm ready to do some damage out here. You know what I mean? I'm ready to do some damage. Matter of fact, if you guys have a Nintendo Switch and you want to be a friend, literally, I have one fucking friend on my Nintendo Switch, and that's just one of my other friends, who just got a Switch. He's a podcaster as well. His name is Wonder Soul, and he has a Wonder Soul podcast. He has a dope podcast. You guys should definitely check him out. I think his podcast is 2 or 3 podcasts a week, man. He is usually giving you guys. So he talks about a lot of the same shit I talk about. But yeah, he's the first guy that I actually, put on my friends list. Cause like I said before, I talked about it. I wasn't even going to fuck with online. Because Nintendo, I feel hasn't done enough to, warrant me doing that. But when you have games like this, I mean, it's like, fuck, I'll gladly pay that $3.99 to go and be able to play online, to get these weapons unlocked and just to meet people or whatever. So if you guys want to be my friend on Nintendo, then go to my Instagram, man, and drop me your friend codes, please. That's Studio MacGyver 79, my Instagram. Check me out, and I'll be posting my my friend code as well shortly. Definitely. I was just trying to wait till I got closer to the end of the game before I started doing that. But yeah, definitely planning on doing that. So I would love to see some of you guys out here and play some matches together and go out here and slay some enemies. That'd be dope. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I've talked too much. It's late. I'm gonna get back into some Daemon X Machina. Not gonna lie. Gonna try a couple things out. Trying to unlock a couple things that I was working on before I decided to go ahead and get this podcast over with and done. So I'm gonna get out here and get to that. But like I said before, if you guys want to reach out, holler at me on Instagram at Studio MacGyver 79. Also Twitter. I'm on Twitter, man. At Studio MacGyver as well. Facebook page at Studio MacGyver. Yeah, check me out. Fuck with me. And I want to thank everybody for coming and listening to the podcast. To all the new listeners, welcome to the family. I hope this podcast gave you some kind of incentive to maybe just check the game out. I know everybody's looking for, looking forward to the Zelda game and all of that. And that's cool. But if you're looking for something different and you want something that is, something that's just very, very unique in a great way, in a fun way, then you should check out Daemon X Machina. That's my so-called review. I'm not a professional reviewer, guys. I'm just a guy who, likes playing video games and likes talking about them. That's why I did this podcast thing. I love you guys. Thank you for listening. This is Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.